All right, what is going on, everybody? Blaze over here and Nala over here. We're on our morning walk after a late flight last night. The ruck is on the back, and we're going to get after it, talking a little bit about goal setting today on the Blue Chip Athletic Club podcast. Before we get going, our 50 Days of Fitness is live. If you guys are wanting to get in on that challenge, hit me up. We've got spots available. It is 50 days of training, nutrition coaching, accountability, education, and community, which is all going to bring you into the year 2026, looking, moving, and feeling your best. So really take advantage of that program. We poured a lot of time, effort, and energy into it. You don't need anything besides a set of dumbbells, and it can be, super simple for you to be able to complete kind of wherever you are. So whether you're a pilot on the road or somebody traveling for the holidays, it can be really helpful to have some sort of a program going so you can continue to make that progress. So let's go into partners next. Thank you to partners over at First Form, Sweet Perfections, LogTen. You guys rule. If you guys are looking for supplements that we take and use and trust, the best protein cookies or the best pilot flight logbook on this side of the Mississippi, i.e. this side of the world that I've had, at least, hit us up, let us know, and we can forward you guys their information, and then get you guys a discount on some of their stuff as well. We'll leave that stuff all in the show notes for you too. So talking goal setting, and why it's important. So, oh man, I've been working with, on and off, a couple guys in our one-on-one private coaching community, and I think that it's been a big challenge for them in particular, and it's probably even been a challenge for me in particular to hammer out exactly what they're looking to do. Setting goals is something that's a bit of an art form, but more importantly, it's something that's incredibly important, because if you don't have a destination, you don't necessarily know where you're going, and you don't really know how to measure your progress against that. It's almost like your litmus test to figuring out, like, hey, am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? For example, if your goal is to, we'll use a normal one, lose 10 pounds. That is I'll call superficial goal, because it kind of only talks through the metric, the measurable piece, and we'll talk through like the SMART acronym to bore some of my other health and wellness people or coaches out there. But what that does do, though, is it provides you a direction. If, hey, after 1 month, if you've gained 10 pounds, you're probably doing something wrong. You're measuring against that litmus test. You're figuring out, am I getting closer or further from where I kind of want to be? So that is step one, I think, really identifying what your goal is. Now, for me, personally, my goals have shifted, and they're pretty dynamic, probably like most of you all, or I would think like most of you all, right? Maybe, let's take me, for example. Maybe when I first start training, I decide that I want to get in the gym because I want to be ripped like Rambo. Well, being ripped like Rambo is something that I'm not sure is in alignment with my goals anymore. Sure, like being shredded is great, but I don't really have an aspiration personally to go on stage and to be critiqued and judged in front of a lot of other bodybuilders and do that journey and have that be a part of kind of who I am, the way that I train, etc. So what I have found is that you start working out, you start training, most dudes, because you want to be able to pick up chicks when you're younger, or you want to be better at your sport. Maybe you just want to be rich like Rambo because you thought it looked cool, and that's great, and super effective. That was me for sure. And then how does it grow and develop? Well, mine developed into then, lifting up heavy weights. And then it was like a just measuring goal. It's like I'm just measuring against, hey, how much weight did I lift yesterday versus how much can I lift today? And we're chasing that. We're chasing the numbers, and we're chasing kind of what that goal becomes. And that all has a place. And I think that was great for my development and understanding. But as I, hit my mid to late 20s and now in my early 30s, I'm looking at life from a lens of longevity. And the reality is when I sit here and I think to myself like, hey, what is my goal? The goal is now I want to look, move, and feel my best, and I want to be able to play for as long as possible, sports, move around, be present with future generations of kids and friends' kids and all those things. So my goal has inherently shifted to doing that. So maybe the training looks a little bit different. The food definitely looks a little bit different, and that's really what it comes down to. So what I want to talk about, and then I'll talk about the way that I've kind of implemented this, is the SMART acronym. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. Probably going to be out of breath here, and we got bad motorcycles going by us. But I want to talk about like, hey, how we implemented it and what the goal kind of is. But like I said, SMART acronym first. So what is SMART? Why is SMART important? SMART is a acronym people typically use for goal setting. SMART can be super effective to kind of break down, hey, how do I want to set this goal? What is an important way? What is the way for me to be able to kind of take a step towards what I want to do? And it helps you get a lot more concrete with your goal. So SMART, every single SMART. So S is going to be specific. The goal has got to be specific. What are you looking to do? This is like, hey, I want to lose weight. Lose weight is pretty specific. Gaining weight is also specific. A body recomposition is specific. Whatever your thing becomes, make it specific for what you're trying to do. Kind of self-explanatory. And some of these kind of points of the framework are, but when you kind of put it all together, I think it's really helpful to kind of talk through each individual component. So S is specific. M is going to be measurable. I want to lose weight. Okay, great. Now I want to lose weight, but I want to lose 10 pounds. Sweet. So now I'm specific and I'm measurable, and I know now that I'm looking to move the needle. And we've got two of what I'll call the 5 components. So A next is going to be attainable. So, hey, is your goal something that you can attain? And this is something that's more of like the realistic gut check. So if you're somebody who is like, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds in a month, like let's let's talk, you and me. We'll get checked. There's not a safe way to do that. There's not a healthy way to do that. So part of that comes from like, hey, what's the science say? What are you capable of personally, and being consistent so that you can kind of achieve whatever that looks like for you. So we've got the S specific, the M measurable, the A attainable. The R is going to be relevant. So is the goal relevant for you and kind of what you want to be? So in our scenario before, let's say you wanted to lose 10 pounds, but you're incredibly skinny, and your doctor said like, hey, if you don't start putting some weight on, you'll struggle with osteoporosis when you're older, and you may have like cracking bones, you may take a fall and have to go into a nursing home, blah blah. I know most people are probably the opposite of that. They're probably like in the other scenario of being like, hey, you're a diabetic, you're 400 pounds and that you decide that your goal is now to gain 10 pounds, like you're probably also going the opposite direction, right? So it's got to be relevant for, you know, the life you want to live, the health model that you kind of want to have, and then utilizing some of that kind of to push you forward. And the last piece, so we've got specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and the last piece is going to be time bound. So what does time bound mean? You're putting a time cap on the goal. You're trying to find, hey, this is where I'm going to cap out. And this is the part that I think is really important to kind of distinguish. Just because you say, I want to lose 10 pounds this month, doesn't mean that after the month, if you don't lose 10 pounds, that you didn't get closer to the goal. The time bound piece, I think, is important to use as like a, hey, I progressed like this, or this is like a checkpoint. It's like, hey, I'm checking in with the progress. I'm seeing what's happened. And now what I want to do is I want to adjust. You can only do a handful of things. You can do more of something, you can do less of something, you can stop something, or you can start something. In reality, the action that you take is really just going to come down to one of those couple things that's going to help get you closer to the goal. So, you know, what are you going to do based on how you did over the course of that time range? And I think, again, when I talked through my goal before, I was like, oh, I just want to be ripped like Rambo, or I want to be able to pick up chicks, which is cool. But what that does is that doesn't encompass all 5 parts of the goal setting framework, so that I'm able to get, you know, really specific, really relevant, be time bound, and all those other things. So what does the goal evolve into? Maybe this comes a little bit from a level of you know, maturity or development in life, priority shift, whatever the case is. But I have a lot of people that are like, hey, like, what's the goal now? And my goal now, personally, is I want to be able to dance at my 80th birthday. My 80th birthday, I want to be able to dance on the dance floor and let that thing rip. So what does that mean? What does that look like? How do I get myself there? Now, my time scale is also super long. I'm 30 years young as of today, but you know, that's a 50-year goal, probably super far, probably more likely something that you guys are doing, or maybe you're looking at it and you're like, damn, like, that's a really long time. Or, hey, I want to do a 6-month goal, year-long goal, well, whatever your thing becomes. And there'll be small ones in there too. But the reason that I set the I want to dance at my 80th birthday is because the specificity of that, if you think about, you know, the people in your life who you know that are 80 years old, you know, how specific is that? Well, you know, it's pretty easy to recognize if somebody can dance or not at any time. So check. We've got measurable. Can I measure the fact that I can dance or cannot dance? Yep, that's pretty binary, 1 or 2, or 1 or 0 for my computer people. Check. SM, I want A now. Is it attainable? Yeah, dude. I'm not, knock on wood, I'm not paralyzed from the waist down right now. I'm able to walk, you know, and move and ruck all right now. So yeah, I think that's something that I can attain. Is it relevant? Yeah, dude. I want to be able to play and move and do those things until I die. And then time bound, you know, 80, 50-year goal becomes that piece of it being time bound. So, you know, what is your goal? And I think, you know, as I've started to work with people, sometimes we're really concrete in the beginning, and that's kind of great. Hey, I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. And then the problem, or I guess the great part is we get there, but the problem is that we don't kind of reset. And then, you know, the progress gets exciting, we get kind of lost in it, and then we kind of lose our true north, our direction, and where we're going. So I just want to emphasize and stress, like, hey, when you are setting your goals, when you're moving in this direction, when you're trying to make a health shift, like what can you do to help dial that stuff in, is take a look at the SMART framework, utilize that T component as a checkpoint versus a fail or pass kind of metric. And what you'll see is that as you start to kind of grow and develop, and your priority shift or even the goals move, you'll be able to kind of find ways to continue to make progress along the way in your health and wellness journey program. If you guys, as always, like if you're looking for any amount of health advice, whether that's nutrition, whether that's training, sleep, stress, recovery, you name it, we've been schooled in it. Always looking to help more and more people look, move, and feel their best. And it doesn't always have to be complicated. Let's keep things simple, keep them smart, and get after it. So remember, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. See you guys next time. Peace.